Hey guys, welcome back. So here is the chicken coop. The long-awaited chicken coop tour is here. The girls are out. They've been out for, I think it's like day 4 or 5 now. They've adjusted pretty well. The one thing I was kind of worried about was they wouldn't know to go into their actual like coop area at night, which they haven't really fully got. So I'm trying to adjust them to that. So every night and every morning I have to let them in and out. But other than that, it's been pretty cool. It's been nice to have them out. It's been really fun. They're so much more curious now that they're outside, but it's been such a long project in the making, honestly. So we got the girls, I think, the first week of April, and we weren't originally supposed to get baby chicks until the second week of April, but then there was a bunch of things that went down, and then we got these girls from Tractor Supply. Long story short, I'll link the other video up top if you want to see it. But honestly, when we got them, we probably should have started the coop, to be honest. The thing is it kind of took a little bit longer than expected, simply because my husband didn't use any plans. There's a few things he had to do and then redo just because they weren't as functional as he liked or as aesthetic as he liked. So one of those things where not using any plans definitely elongated our time. I think we were working on this for about 7 to 8 weekends roughly. We weren't working on this a lot throughout the week at all, just because this was mostly my husband's project. I helped with what I could. I was honestly the person that kind of stood there, held things in place. I stained the whole thing. I painted my little sign. I got like the little decor things, and I moved all that sand, which the sand was definitely probably my heavy duty project of the hour. Oh gosh, I was so sore. I mean, when you're moving that much sand twice, it was a lot. But I really like the sand. It's really clean. It's really easy to clean. They really like it. They like to dust bathe in it and all of that. But for anyone that's new here, this is my very first year with chickens. Since 2022. So some of you might think this little sign's a little extra, but the thing is I actually gifted my sister the exact same sign in 2021 for Christmas, because she was kind of on the borderline of, do I want to get chickens? Do I not want to get chickens? And I was like, if I get her this sign, she'll have to get chickens. And last year during Christmas time, we were kind of at that same point, and she's like, well, now you have to do it. I bought you the sign. So it definitely was one of those kickers that really pushed us to fully do that this year. We've been wanting to do this for quite some time. It's just, this was definitely an expense. It's not like cheap to build your own chicken coop. You know, I was really shooting for like 1,500, 2,000, but I think we went over 2,000. But for what it was, it's beautiful and I absolutely love it. My husband put so much detail and thought behind everything, especially like the paneling. So he used plywood and then actually used cedar fence posts to do like all of this mix match. And the thing that took so much time with that is just to get all the different colors of wood to not look all the same and mix match, and to cut all the custom pieces. All the way around the top here was the most tricky, and it gave him the most problem. But everything came together. The one thing that everyone's been pointing out in all of like the preview shots of the coop is that we use chicken wire and not hardware cloth. If we were to like go back in time, we probably would have done hardware cloth, but we bought all of this chicken wire. We had it up before anyone was like really suggesting it to me. I didn't think it was like that hit or miss. We know people with coops with chicken wire here in our town. I see people all the time with them, so I really didn't think much of it. Honestly, we have over 10,000 staples holding all of the chicken wire in, and we also have it a whole foot into the ground as well. So, I mean, we're going to see if chicken wire will really hold against predators if there is a predatory attack as well. The one thing I will state, we do have motion sensor lights over here and also over here, so I know that would also help as well. But yeah, I guess we're just going to find out. Honestly, we probably could tack hardware cloth along the outside if anything came down to it. So that's always an option. I think the fact that my husband went into this with zero plans, minus like just dimensions on maybe how much wood we would need to buy, is just amazing because it looks so good. He does do assembly for a job, but he's never built anything this crazy. Like, he's built us some cabinets, like not even cabinets. He's built like a cabinet onto the side of our kitchen. And he's done like little projects like that, but he's never done like a full-on build like this. So I know he's proud of it. I'm really proud of it. I think it looks absolutely great, and it's definitely the most like aesthetic-y, like I really wanted like an aesthetic, like cottagey, very like mid-modern century type of coop that's just very my style of things. And when we were going into it, we really looked into so many manufactured coops, and to get one large enough, you were spending about the same amount of money. So for my advice for anyone considering getting chickens and you're wanting to build a coop, either start the coop build before getting the chicks or start the moment you get them. These girls grow so fast. Like, I knew how fast chickens grew, but honestly, I also didn't at the same time. Like, they just kept doubling in size, and I was like, oh my gosh. Like, I've watched so much homesteading content and chicken content that you think you would grasp how much they really truly grow in such a short time because everyone talks about it. No, once you get your hands on your own chicks, it's definitely a game changer on how fast they grow. So that'd be my one bit of advice, but other than that, they're pretty easy. And now that they're outside, they're even easier. I have a 5-gallon water and a 50-pound feeder. So honestly, both of those will keep them for over a week's time. I'm trying to see how long that will last. The feeder I know will probably last about 4 weeks roughly, especially because I've been giving them handfuls of stuff. But yeah, let's go get them some kale, hand them off some kale, give them one more treat for the evening before they go off to bed. And I have some onion stuff that I gotta do tonight as well. So I've been getting the girls handfuls of kale. They've been really enjoying this kale, and it's been really fun just to get them different scraps throughout the garden, just because this kale really needs to come out anyway. So the 5% of the coop that isn't done is inside the actual like coop area, not the run area. So we are actually going to be getting rolled down egg boxes. Here you go. And that way we don't have to build egg boxes. We also have to build them roost, which won't take any time. We were originally going to have like an extra outside build, but then I was seeing all the nest boxes that just allow your eggs to roll out, and apparently it's supposed to help prevent like broody hens and all of that. And honestly, we have plenty of room to be able to fit them in here along with the roost on the side, instead of building a whole other thing out, because we would have had to get all more wood, and it would have been way more expensive to probably do that. So you can see the onions here are getting quite tall. I'm actually going to cut them back tonight. You might be able to tell I actually went through and I cut them all back. I originally told you guys I was probably going to do half. They were doing so well, I decided to go ahead and cut all of them. So the purpose of cutting the tops is to send all of the energy to the bulb. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that again today. It also helps allow the stem to stand up straighter. When these get really tall and heavy, they tend to bend over, and when they stand up straight, it just allows the bulb to grow a lot better. The other thing I'm going to do tonight is something I've never done, which is called spooning. I will be taking a spoon or my finger. I've seen both. I just got the spoon because that's what it's called and what people use, but I also see people use their finger. So what you do with spooning is you simply take your finger or a spoon and you remove all the outside dirt around the onion bulb, minus around where the roots would be. You want to kind of go a little down, but you don't want to go too far down. What that does is allow the bulb not to have to push the soil and allowing a bigger bulb. A lot of people who grow big onions claim by both these things. So I'm really interested to see how the two really impact my onions this year. So I have 3 varieties for anyone that's new here. I have Spanish yellow, Cabernet red, and also Australian brown. That whole bed over there is Australian brown, and then I believe this one is 50-50 Spanish yellow and Cabernet red. I grew both the Cabernet red and Spanish yellow last year, but I got my hands on Australian brown seeds this year because they are an indeterminate variety. But after seeing things a little further, I almost think maybe long day is up my alley. I don't know. But yeah, those are the 2 things we're going to do with onions. So also, if you guys know me by now, you can also save stuff like this for broth purposes, and I will be doing just that. You can cut them up a little small, but yeah, just gives you the broth a really nice flavor. You can also cut them into chives, freeze them. There's all sorts of things. I mean, treat this as you would a regular onion chive. But yeah, I'm going to throw these into freezer bags and use them for broth here. I'm thinking I'm going to do some broth here in a few weeks. We'll see. I know I'm going to get busy with other projects here pretty soon, so broth might have to be on the back burner for a while. I'm not cutting too far down. I'm only going about probably 6-7 inches from the base. Again, a good haircut just allows everyone to focus on the main thing we want, which is the onion bulb. So I find this kind of fun since I was a hairdresser. It's like quick little haircuts, but you know, onions. Basket full of tops, and now my onions look clean and uniform and all nice. See how much smaller these ones over here are? So I gotta keep up with this bed. This was old soil compared to new soil, so I have fertilized these one more time, and then once I did that, they really did start picking up. So I almost wish I would have done that a little sooner. Another thing I need to do in this bed too is pull all of these little baby weeds, because onions hate fighting with anything at all. I've been having to really be on my weeding game. So the only thing here is we're going to push back some of that mulch a little bit, and then slowly, I think that's probably, yeah, finger actually does work a lot better than a spoon. But yeah, the term for it is called spooning, but I see why people suggest using your finger, just because you can really feel with your finger how far deep you are going. But yeah, see how like compact that soil was around? You're not having that bulb fight with you. You don't want to remove too much, because again, that's kind of its support system, and we do live in windy Kansas, so I'm gonna stop right there. This is obviously going to take me quite some time, because I have what, like 400 something onions planted? 400, I don't know the exact number, it's somewhere around there. I know I was shooting for like 350-ish, like one a day. I mean, I can totally see why this would totally be a thing that would work. I had pretty good size onions last year, and I'm just saying, I didn't do any of this, so I'm hoping I get some nice big onions. Ooh, this one's a red one. I don't think you guys can see it. Let's see. My red ones are a little bit more over here. So yeah, you can't really see that color until you dig a little bit deeper. I have a feeling, guys, if you were just to sit here and watch me, this would be some really boring content. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and end today's video here. I'm so excited I finally got to show you guys the chicken coop. This is probably going to take me longer than I actually probably projected for the evening. So I'm gonna put my head down, get this done, but thank you guys so much for joining me today. I'll see you all next week. Bye.